All right, what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy DeAndre. We back with another episode of the Squid Games Aftermath Recap Show. And this episode I have been anticipating for the last 3 or 4 days. I've been trying to get this man by phone, the Pony Express, any UPS, any kind of line, and this man is impossible to find. He's like, "Where's Waldo on the map?" And you just gotta just keep getting him until he comes back at you. And I got the man himself, the one, the only, the handsome, the notorious Lorenzo
Uh,
161. What is popping?
Listen, I'm hard to get, okay? How's it going? Thank you for having me, Jandre.
Oh, well, thank you for coming, man. We honored over here to have you and seeing, your beautiful coifs on your hair is looking flawless right now, man. What you putting in your hair, man?
No, kinda. I'm just done with the gym, so this is literally out of the gym. I didn't do anything right now, so I'm like, whoop. I hope it does, but
Well, it's looking peachy keen. So, Lorenzo, can you tell people, because, some people, before we get into it, where exactly are you from?
right. So I've seen articles online saying, "Oh, where's Lorenzo from? Is he mixed race? Is he Nigerian?" I'm like, guys, I mean, I'm quite clearly from Italy. Like, just the name, the accents. I mean, yeah, I'm Italian. I'm from Milan. Uh,
I
yeah.
love Milano. I've been there twice. I was there this past summer, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but I live in London. So I've lived in London for 7 years now. But originally, I'm an immigrant. Hey.
Okay, so you like in London more than Milano?
Um, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel London was very right at that moment in time because I just felt Milan was too small for me, and I just wanted to go to a big city where things actually like work properly and whatever. But I kind of miss Italy. Like I feel like there's something very powerful of living in your own country. Apart from because I migrated here and basically I don't know. It's nice, but at the same time, it's a nice feeling to be an Italian in Italy.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't really understand because I've been in the country, but yeah, traveling across Europe the past 2 summers, I kind of, talked to a lot of people in different countries, and they kind of said a similar suit where you feel that sense of pride and whatnot. But it's also, you see other horizons in other places, and sometimes people don't feel true,
Yeah.
at themselves and at home in their own country. So I
But
understand.
especially for me, it's just like I understand the culture and the nuances fully. Whilst with British or American, will never understand 100% you guys. You know, as I would with an Italian. I guess I know. Yeah.
Well, Milano's one of my favorite cities, man. I have some really great friends from Milano. One of them came to New York to come visit this a few months ago. His also name was Lorenzo,
Oh.
Gigi, and what's the other one's name? Alessandro. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
they
The
talk.
Italian gang.
Hey, we out here. They try and act like they in the
Mm.
game, but they're not. So if they're watching this, that's a dig on y'all to quit acting like y'all game bangers. But anywho, we're gonna get into it right now. So,
Let's do it.
Lorenzo, one of the stars of the show, I might add. He didn't make it on the poster, but he's one of the stars of the show.
I know,
Uh,
right? I'm gonna sue Netflix for that, not for them.
yeah, the fact you're on the poster, I think.
Yeah, alleged conditions, but for that, yeah,
Exactly.
no, I'll
Well,
give it to them.
yeah, well, you get introduced pretty early in the show. We show you, you saying you're gonna make it through red light, green light because you work out. That is what you said.
Yeah.
Is
Is that
that
what I said? Oh, damn.
That's what you said. And so do you still kind of does that you still believe like, oh, because I work out, I've made it through?
No, like I genuinely think it's more like a mental challenge. So no, no, physical. I mean, the good things about Squid Games, you don't have to be, this hench, guy that works out. You can just be anyone. It's not really about. I mean, this guy. The other day was asked, the wolf was there, which I have no idea, like who. I have no idea what that is, but I mean, he didn't make it, and I mean, other people did. So no, I don't think that. I mean, it definitely helps to be. It's a nice feeling, but yeah.
So what made you apply for Squid Games, the challenge?
I applied, not gonna lie to you, because I mean, I had as you know now, I had a corporate job like in private equity, and that was kind of like, I feel like since we're very young, we're all like put to, I don't know about other people's families, but we're kind of told your path is gonna be like a corporate path, whatever that is. You're gonna work in Amazon. I'm just saying, like working for a big corporation, it's kind of it's seen as aspirational, and I truly believe that, DeAndre. I'm telling you, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make that coin. I'm gonna get up the corporate ladder. I'm gonna have a big boy job, whatever. I played that game, and I was kind of tired. Like in private equity, sometimes like as corporate entertainment, you have to go, for example, to a strip club, you know. And I was kind of like, I don't really have to do that. Like it's just a hard world to live in, and I was just sick and tired of. I mean, I kind of like don't like the idea of profit as well. That's another internal battle that I had. I was like, the idea of profit cheapens everything for me. I just didn't want to think about it. So I wanted to cash out and get this money and basically pay my way out of the system.
Okay, so that was the initial thought. So
Yeah,
you in it for the money. That's the main goal. Your mind's on the money. Money's on
yeah,
the mind. We trying to get that coin, get that bag. So
yeah.
when you get through the initial, you find out you're on the show, and it's the last night at home. You're packing your things, getting ready to head out. But you live in London, so it's like you're going down the street. What's going through your mind like that last night at home, and you're about to embark on this little journey?
So the day before I left, you asked. Um, I mean, I was super excited because I was like, here is my chance where I could just win a lot of money. So I was definitely excited. At the same time, I was kind of stressed because I mean, we didn't really have an idea of what was gonna happen or go down. So I was like, am I prepared enough? Um, I kept like rereading my notes about like what game should I play in this instance? How do I do the cookie perfect? So I was kind of revising weirdly. And then yeah, when I was in the game, I was like, well, fuck all these rules. I'm just gonna go for it because I don't remember anything. Like, yeah,
Hey, I'm with you on the rule breaking, coach, because I'm trying to, get the bag. My enemies necessary too. I might as well rub a
yeah.
few myself. But we'll get there. So when you get into, you get inside the game and whatnot, and you're about to go into red light, green light. You can see it's going to be red light, green light from afar from the tents. But when you
Yeah.
first walk in there, what are you kind of feeling? What's going through your head?
I'm not gonna lie to you. In that moment, I was kind of panicky. Like that's what people don't really realize. Like it just looked legit, and like it felt like I was gonna die for real. That was my biggest concern. So I was like, oh my god, like I felt the feeling to tell you exactly was like when I was doing an exam at elementary school. That was the feeling. I was like, oh my god, like something big was gonna happen. It's like life and death situation, like fight or flight. So I was kind of like, yeah, scared of it in a way. I just didn't want to go out in green light, red light. So I was like, oh my god.
Well, you did the thing, man. I mean, so what was your strategy going into the game?
Uh, I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, I mean, I didn't really have a strategy. Like, but even let's remind ourselves that even not having a strategy is a strategy in itself. Like, I had more of a strategy before. I was like, I'm gonna make alliances. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But then I can't really, I just went with the flow. I don't want to make alliances with anyone. I was just like, sometimes it's better to just go with the flow. Sometimes whatever happens, happens. I
What
don't
was your
think there's
strategy
one.
for red? What was your strategy for red light, green light?
My strategy for green, you say read like, whatever that game is too long. I was confusion. Um, I think it's generally just putting your hands in the pocket at that time because it was very cold, and just move as quickly as possible as she sings. And looking back, I was like stopping like 2 seconds before she would turn around because I would anticipate that. Looking back, I would just run until the last second. I mean, but then I would do, yeah. I mean, I cannot have regret. So looking back, I would have done the same. I passed. So
Well, yes, you do. I mean, 161 makes it through, pretty, I ain't gonna say easily, but congratulations. He survives another day. Our friend from Italy that lives in London is going on through the next round,
yeah.
representing everybody all over the world. And so we all cheer for joy. So when you cross the line, what's kind of going through your head after that?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't even cheering because I didn't think. I think I passed it when she was still like when she stopped singing when she already turned around. In my head, I was like, okay, I fucked it. Like this is it. I'm just gonna be eliminated now after the line. So I waited until I was like cleared off because I was just scared. So you don't see me cheer because I was kind of like, did I pass or did I not? Are they gonna tell me like, is my thing gonna go off? Like I'm just scared, you know. So,
No, definitely. No,
you know,
some
sometimes
people
the
love.
good thing about confidence is you can fake it and no one's gonna know if it's real or not. So on the outside, I was probably, looking confident and saying confident things, but in the inside, I was like not feeling that.
Hey, you got to keep the poker face up, Lady Gaga settings. Can't let nobody see
Period.
what your fear going on inside, and you got like, look, it was what it is, and that was the part of the plan. We about to get
That's
this
it.
bag. About
That's
to
it.
do this. All right, so we make it through, and then you go back to the hotel, then you come back, and then it's time to go into the dorms. So, when you first step into the dorms, what's kind of like the emotions and things you was thinking in your head as you was walking in there?
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I entered the dorm, like I cannot. And I think it's clear. I cannot really fake like emotions, or whatever. So you don't see me pretty much ever doing a reaction like, "Wow, oh my god!" Like you just never see me do that. I'm usually look pretty underwhelmed most of the time. Sometimes I fake being like impressed with stuff because I'm always like, "Oh wow!" It doesn't come natural to me. So I was kind of like, "Okay, this is cool." Like, what should we do now? Should I go check out the bathrooms? Do I have to pick the bed? Do they pick it for me?
Yeah, no, 100% agree. I kind of the similar way where it's like, not I've seen a lot of things you seem to have as well. It's not everything's gonna excite you and surprise you and be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing! Like a bed, a
Yeah.
bathroom. Like some of the reactions were a little overdone in my eyes, where it's like they trying to play it up, but I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
like just be
Or
yourself.
maybe just people just get very excited about stuff as well. I don't know. Maybe it's just their game. Yeah, I'm like you.
Yeah, 100%. No, I mean, it is an American thing to kind of overreact to a lot of things, and there was a lot of Americans in there, so I totally understand where you're looking at some people are like, okay, let me move on here. So we get inside the dorms. It's time to make way for this new part. They in the show they kind of pan to when we're starting to get food for the first time, and you say you want Italian food, and it's the most important thing to you. Is it the most important thing to you?
Yes, like in there, I was literally hungry all the time. Like that's why I had to get more food. I was like, I'm gonna die of hunger in here. Like I just don't care about y'all. I'm just gonna get more food, and hopefully no one notices. But I was actually teamed up with Mommy Sisi, which was one of the besties in there, and I was like passing food to her. She was eating more. Like my whole clan was eating more. That's what they don't show. I was sharing my stolen. I was taking the risk to steal it and sharing it with everybody. Like my Latino gang, Mami Cici, maybe not Lucia because she wasn't eating as either. But yeah,
No, I mean you had the right idea. I ain't gonna lie, I took two as well. I was just a little more sneaky than you.
really, wow, boy, that you kept that one quiet. I'm telling you
Hey,
that.
look, because I thought they were gonna eliminate you if they caught you. So when you snuck it under your pillow or under your blanket, and that was a place to hide it. Well, mine was basically is I ate real, in the corner by myself next to no one, and then I took the plate back real subtly, but I kind of like hid it. You had them big old jackets, and I like set it right there next to the garbage bin or whatever. And I kind of just, blended in a little bit, was talking to some people online, and they're like, "Do you eat already?" It's like, "Nah, I was waiting for the." No, I sat down for a while because the line was super long, and some people sat down before they got their food, and then
Yeah.
they got up because they didn't want to stand in line. And I was like, "All right, it's time for the sneak back in, up in here." Got it real slyly, and people was like, Did you already eat?" I was like, "Nah, this is my first one."
I give it to you, DeAndre. I'm impressed. You're my kind of guy.
Hey, look now, I understand because you work out, you need the calories and nutrients, or else you're not gonna
Right. I was taking creatine before, and then I mean, after you stop taking creatine, your body kind of like starts going down. I was like, oh my God, yeah. So,
No, 100%, and every man for or woman for herself in there. So
hmm.
it is what it is. So it's time, you do that, spend a few days in there, and it's time to go to the second game. And so we enter the white room. And so when we get in this white room, what's kind of going through your head?
Again, I can't, and again, underwhelmed. Like, I was like, okay, there's a white room. Like, I'm just keeping it real. Then I can tell you, like, oh, I was very excited, like this and that. I would just, more of my feelings were like kind of scared, kind of excited, kind of, yeah, just like frightened, but then happy, then thinking it was just mixed feelings like that. But I mean, yeah, I was like, okay, there's a white room. What are we gonna do now? Like, I was very practical. I feel in my head. I wasn't like, giving into emotions like that.
Okay, I understand completely. So how do you determine which line you get into?
Okay, there's actually a funny story because like initially, oh no, because I wanted to choose a. It let me restart. So I went in on a line with Mami Sisi and Lucia, and then I wanted to change it. Oh no, this is that going. Wait, let me restart because I'm confusing it with worship. This is that gonna what that gonna happen is I was there with Mama Sisi and Lucia, so my two like kind of best friends in there. And then yeah, Mami Sisi was just like, my ancestors gave me this line. You have to stay here. My ancestors. Yeah, everything she would do, she would say, my ancestors. So to me, I was like, if her ancestors and says to be here, I mean, I think they want me here too, so I would stay with her, and it worked out every single time. You know, Mama Sisi speaks to the gods. I'm telling you, that girl is made different. So I was like, yeah, and she was my bestie, so I was like, I mean, I'm gonna follow her. If I'm gonna go down, at least I go down with them.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, what was her ancestors telling her then?
They were telling her this is your line. She was like, it was like Lorenzo, it happened for a reason. And I was like, but she said that, I'm just gonna go with it. She said it happens for a reason, so let the reason be happening.
So, which line was it?
It was the triangle line. Don't ask me the number because I cannot remember
Number
to save
two.
my life. Yeah, number two. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So you get in the second line, and then you see the things happening at the beginning, and eventually, yes, you get the triangle. Um, and so you get it. You kind of know what shape you're going into. You walk in the room. How you feeling once you get your cookie and it's about to begin? How you feeling about it?
Again, I was stressed because like I tried at home a lot, like doing this cookie, and I broke it every single time. So, but this one was kind of different. It was thicker. So I tried everything. I tried licking it. I tried going on the back at the front. Like I just every single thing that could come to my head, I would do it. And then I understood the trick at the end. And then I actually told Lucia all the tricks towards at the end when I was done with it. So yeah, which is by the way, just going into the spitting it and just going the line over and over again. Just trust the process, and then it will.
Hey, trust the process, and it's gonna get to your favors. Listen to this man; he's preaching gospel, and ain't even Sunday.
Amen, brother.
So we successfully 161 completes the second task pretty simply. Nothing to it but to do it. He's flying through the competition, eliminating everybody else along his path to victory.
Wow, you made me sound ruthless. I don't think that's what I need right now. I need to be like, oh, this little poor puppy, Just
Okay,
paint me in a sad way, please, because listen.
all right, this is a hard-fought journey. This is not ruthless path to power. This is a hard-fought journey. Humbly, he humbly wins.
Yeah, I'm humble. Yeah. God.
So it's time to go back to the dorms, and soon we find this telephone. So the telephone appears. What are you thinking about getting this phone? Like, are you seeing the food come out? Like, what's going on?
I went straight to the bathroom at the showers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even know 198 was eliminated. I was just in the showers. I took like a 2-hour showers, like last shower. I was there, I was putting cream on me, I shaved, I was doing all this nonsense in the bathroom. I ain't leaving. I was thinking, do I have to be in the door? Because if not, I'd rather remove myself from it.
Interesting. So you didn't see none of that stuff.
No, nothing. Like they told me after. I was like, "Why did I got eliminated?" I was like, "Okay, cool."
Hey, well, I guess that's nowhere to be but the bathroom at that time, because
Yeah.
of course you could have got some food, but hey, hindsight, whatever. You made the right decision in being there, and you was minding your own business, doing your own thing. So I don't blame you for that. So it's time for the next day to come, and it's time for the third challenge. So tug of war. Everyone's talking about tug of war this, tug of war that. Are you thinking tug of war?
I was definitely thinking tug of war. In fact, I was concerned because in my line there was not that many strong people, but I was like, we could definitely play well, So I was like, I remember thinking, I'm just gonna pull like a monkey. So then I was like, okay, there's no pulling after. I was like, in that challenge here, I was overwhelmed. I had energy because I was trying to gas everyone up in my line to be like, you're gonna pull like crazy,
And you got to, man, at that point. So how do you decide how do you decide to pick your line in that instance?
This is the one I was confusing before. So I was there with Lucia. I think my Mississippi was on another line. And the Latino gang, so my other friends were in another line, which, by the way, the Mimi wasn't speaking to me because I chose a different line. But, it just happened. And then I wanted to change because the people next to me, they were all like big, strong, like people. They were like, this girl wanted to change with Dylan. Sorry, I can't remember the names properly. And it was, how do you want to swap? Do you want to swap? They're my best friend. And I was kind of like, I like was like, maybe I'm gonna swap and go with the strongest people. But then Lucia told me, you chose one line, you stay here. That's how it went. And I just put my mind at ease. Sometimes I'm indecisive, but then I need people to tell me, nah, that's it. You go with it. And I'm like, okay. So I put my mind at ease. So that's it.
Yeah. So you end up in TJ's line, and TJ is the captain. Did you think about being captain at all, or were you kind of just like, I'm just here, put me where I'm in?
I thought about it, but then I play a lot of chess when I'm not like. I'm joking. I was gonna make it. Let's not. When I'm not doing other stuff, I'm playing chess. No. I meant like, because people are like, "Oh, Lorenzo's sassy all the time." I'm just, oh god. When I'm not busy being sassy, I play chess. That's the only two things I do in my life. So, yeah, I play a lot of chess, but not warship, or battleship, whatever. And then TJ was like, felt so strongly about it, and Lucia plays a lot of warship, and she was my best friend in there. So I was like, I mean, I'm happy with it. Go with it, yeah. I think
Cool.
TJ had no understanding of warships. He just wanted to, like, just want to be captain because he's the alpha male in it. Which I let the alpha male be alpha male. Listen, you want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you weren't trying to, fight him on that. I mean, he wanted to be leader. He wanted to be leader. Why don't you think he kind of knew what he was doing during battleships?
Because Lucia made all the choices, like about which one, where to send the missile. He was just being loud. Like, I'm not making a character. Listen, I send all my love to TJ. I'm sure he's like, well, I don't think we're just really like compatible as friends. Let's put it that way. We're just very different people. Yeah, and he was just shouting a lot of positive affirmations in there.
Yeah.
Which
No, they definitely. Yeah. No, go ahead.
no, yeah, which I mean, I even thought like for the other team here in humility and gratitude. I mean, you're just trying to eliminate, you're just trying to kill them, and you're just screaming like positive affirmations. How annoying must it? People think like, oh, why you? A lot of people are like, why are you hating on that guy saying this? And I'm like, do you think about the other people? Like, let's even if you want to be super considerate, let's bring everything in then. So I was kind of like, oh my god, this is long. Like, DJ, I beg, stop. But yeah, but he carried on. So.
Hey, yeah. I mean, you mentioned that you have a little prompt saying he's tired of the positive affirmations. Like, we get it, coach. We're gonna win the game. Like, come on, let's go on with it. And I know sometimes, some people that can be a lot. The positive, upbeat person can kind of just it can wane on you a little bit.
Yeah.
I understand, and that was kind of how you were feeling in this moment.
Yeah,
Maybe
for me,
so.
I guess
Still,
what
it's just-
what reassures me is more like I need to feel like it's a real, not just a slogan. I'm like, if it's a slogan, I feel like, oh my god, we don't know what we're doing. But if it's legit confidence, no, I'm not saying that wasn't. I don't judge other people's ways to express themselves, but I just it doesn't speak to me. Let's say we're not compatible in the way we do this stuff.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel that. Also, Leann and Trey are on your team as well during this challenge. So, are you friends with them at this point, or are you just like they're just another group of couple people here, and it is what it is?
It is what it is. Yeah, as easy as that. Yeah, I yeah didn't speak to them that much.
Got it. And so your team comes out victorious with no casualties on your side. Once again, Lorenzo has the key to the magic box, and he is just, skipping
Hmm.
down the yellow brick road to the Wizard of
Ready for the
Oz.
fourth challenge.
Ready for the fourth challenge. He's excited. He says, he's an atheist, but you happy to God that your team came through with the dub, which is hilarious.
Because I think there was a lot of Americans in there, and I guess most of them, oh, most of you guys are Christians. So it was like, everyone was like, God, God, good, this and that. So I kind of got into me. I was like, this thanking God thing, which I quite like. Like, I'm thanking God all the time now. But yeah, I never really used to before. So.
Yeah, no, it's a big thing. I'm non-denominational myself. I'm spiritual. I'm more spiritual than religious.
Me too.
That's kind
Me
of how
too.
I go about
I
things.
charge my crystals, like I'm telling you, I'm like a witch.
Hey, it matters. These things, little things, there's signs.
It really does, honestly. The moon is acting wild. Like, what the fuck?
100%. I feel that. So it is time for the next day, and the guard slash the person above who's speaking through the microphone, they say, okay, we have 2 tests, and then we will proceed to the next game. So we these first tests, they come out with this box, and they announce the rules saying that everyone in line must vote for a player and a player to eliminate. And there has to be three of these players that they're gonna be. Ultimately, three players need to be voted for, and then those people are out with the most votes. So when you hear the rules, and you first hear the rules, and then you have some time to go strategize, etc., etc. What's kind of going through your head when you hear these rules?
Um, I didn't think I was ever gonna get voted. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think there was some people that I stood up more. That was their numbers were going around. I never heard mine. That said, I was trying to. I'm not gonna lie to you. I convinced a lot of people to vote for those people around. I was just manipulating everyone, saying, "Oh, I heard this, I heard that," and people just followed me. I ain't gonna lie. Like everyone was gonna, vote for those people. So that's what I was doing.
I feel that. And so I don't know if this is correct order or not, but you can let me know. So we have these women making these apples, and then they
Right.
make the apples, and then they bring them out, and then they're handing them out to people like, here, we made these for you guys, or cut these up for you guys. I ain't gonna say make them. It was just cutting up apples. And they hand them out to everybody, and you're like, nah, no, thank you. I appreciate you for making it very politely. No problem whatsoever. Other people said no as well, because I talked to some other people. They're like, oh, I didn't want any apples either. Like that was kind of sus. Why do you think that you got singled out in this little apple debacle?
Um, I guess she heard me only, but I just want to remind you, they just eliminated someone with the phone in there, So every challenge, there's something hidden behind it. And then they started saying this story. I was like, oh, just everyone comes here. Like, oh, we found these apples in the other room. We got them and cut them. The story went probably on for like a good 10 minutes. Like it was very long, and it was like, and then there was a red one, and then they go on about like what they did with the red one, not putting that there, but they didn't want to sound like this. And I was just like, you know, I just say things bluntly, okay? I don't have the gift of like being like, oh, good. But I was just like, respectfully, I just don't want the apples. I was like, I'm done with this story. It was not personal to Leann or anyone. I was like, apple danger. That's what I heard. Have you Adam and Eve, apple doesn't end well. Snow White, apple doesn't end well. I'm just not gonna eat the apple, And then it came across blunt, you know. So, and that's what I think she heard, because I was just like that, but it wasn't personal to her. Any person would have been there, I would just be like, I don't want the apples, understandably. And
Yeah,
if
no,
the red one was in there, you would have gotten eliminated. So
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, with the food phone fiasco, like you got to be on your guard. Anything that comes out, it could be a setup because maybe it's like, oh, you ate this apple, now you're in danger of being eliminated. And that could have been going through your head at the time, and you're just like, nah, like I'm good. So I understand where you coming from. I didn't seem like any harm watching it. It really didn't seem like too much foul play there, and so I think it might have been from my
yeah.
perspective, an overreaction because somebody didn't want it. Culture
Oh, I think
differences
definitely.
whatsoever.
I mean, if you're asking me, I would have been like, okay, that's the one the apple's low, like just danger. But I mean, I'm not responsible for how other people's feel. I know I'm a blunt person. That's what I mean. I am who I am. And sometimes I say what I think, okay, with no filters. I don't think that was, disrespectful in any way, or that was not my intention. You know.
Nah, it didn't. It didn't look disrespectful. Like I'm coming from a non-biased, non-bipartisan point of view. I'm cool with Leann. And I I was surprised. I was like over some apples.
No, well,
So you said you're not interested in the apples and you don't care to make friends. Is that
yeah.
true? You don't care to make friends?
No, DeAndre, like I feel like I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if maybe someone else can relate, but I feel like growing up, um, I had more pressure to like make friends, because I mean, growing up, I had a moment where I wasn't. I had a moment where I was very popular, and then stuff happens to me. Also I started like questioning my sexuality. I kind of like just got a bit more like shy and whatever, and I didn't have that many friends. And I felt like that when I was like trying, like I really want to make friends around, you know. And then after a while, I just understood that it's not that if you're looking for friends desperately, you're gonna get them. And that really worked out for me. Like I feel like now I got such a beautiful chosen family around me. So now I'm never looking for friends. I'm like, if it happens, if someone is like on the same vibe as me, we'll just naturally make friends. And that's what happened to me in the dorm.
Yeah, no, I 100% attest to that. You can't force friendships or relationships. They just got to happen. Sometimes you don't click with some people. That's fine. We can be Facebook friends from afar. I ain't got to see you in
Yeah,
person. You ain't got to see me, but we can be cordial. I'll say what's up, and then we'll keep it moving. And definitely, if you try and force things, then it's all fake. I mean, it's just a feeling. You can't really explain it that well. It's not something that's physical. It's just like we vibe and we mesh. And I totally get that. Like it's attitude type of thing. And some people take it personal when you don't like them, And it's like I can't do nothing about
yeah.
that. You can't be mad at me because that's the spiritual energy
Yeah,
flowing. It just ain't
you couldn't
flowing
have
right.
said it better. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell them I don't like you. It's just more like, an understanding, and maybe we're just not compatible with friends. It's nothing personal. I'm sure you're an amazing person, but it's like boyfriends and girlfriends. Maybe actually you just deserve someone that is the same level vibe as you.
100%. Leann says she doesn't like Lorenzo because she thinks he's arrogant. Hey, why you being so arrogant, man? Stop being so arrogant.
Um, I don't think. I mean, I don't think I'm arrogant. Am I blunt? Yes. Am I sassy sometimes? Yes. I don't think that was out of arrogance. It was just like, I just don't want your apples. Is it that deep? I just don't want the damn apples. I don't want them. You might eliminate me. I don't want the apples. Finished. You know.
Oh my
If you
gosh, who
take
would
it
have
personal
thought?
for some apple, that's on you. Like. And some people are like, "Oh, Lorenzo, you're the fake one." I'm like, if I was fake, I would have shut up about the apples. That just shows like I wasn't really playing a character, which in hindsight, maybe I should have. But I
Man,
just don't work like that, and I know it.
maybe you should have took the apple, man. Who knows?
Oh
But
God,
who would have thought it came down to some damn apples? Like,
not me.
well, it is time to get in line and vote, and everyone's, chopping up in line. So, did you have a strategy on kind of like where you stood in line? Like, did you want in the front, get in the back, anything?
Dandre, if I had a strategy, I'd be the first on that damn line. Like I would not be. I was literally at the back. I was 3/4 of the line. Like and Leann was second. So yeah.
Yep. So she was second, and you were near the back. So the first person voted is 374. Everyone sees his face up on the board. Then the second person voted by Leann is 161, Lorenzo. Whew. So when you first see your picture pop up on that board, what's going through your mind?
I was shocked. I was like, why am I on that board? Like, yeah, I was just kind of shocked. But then I was like, it's probably for the apples, like, because I didn't eat them. And I told her, they're dangerous or whatever I said. Like, I literally said respectfully, I don't want them or I don't want them or something. So I kind of knew that's what it was. And then what I think is, I'm out. That's what I knew.
Oh yeah, because nobody wants to put another name on the board. So
Yeah. I was like, I'm too far in the queue to not go out. I knew I was out, basically.
did you think about yelling in the front, like, putting her on blast? Like, oh, you want to vote for me? Everyone, get her. She's the mother. Did you ever think about putting her on blast?
I was gonna do that, but I don't think it was allowed because they were like, "Oh, you just remain in the line silent." So, I mean, there's no rules as you can see, but yeah, I thought about it though. Yeah,
Well, I think so. If you notice during the show, sometimes there were rules that they told us, but then they don't air these certain rules. Like for the Dalgona picking
exactly.
the cookie, they said you can't play any games to decide which shape, but we clearly did like a race. That was, I guess, technically against the rules, but they didn't air the part where they said no rules. So there's a lot of gray area. There's some gray area when it comes to actually doing the task and then them saying things. Because
Yeah,
it's in the show, they didn't say you can't talk or you can't speak out or anything like that. They didn't even say you can't switch places in line.
they did. No, it was like just staying in the place in line. No,
Yeah, but they didn't air that though. So who
that's true.
knows?
Yeah,
They might. That shows that
yeah.
they can kind of switch
I
things
I
up.
did think I was like, I just want to go in the front of the line, but then. I mean, I could have, but then I looked like a fool if I did that, and then I got sent back, and I was like, people are definitely gonna vote for me now. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she votes for you. You don't know why she picked you, and Lorenzo says there are snakes everywhere. Good lord.
Yeah. I mean,
Leann says go. No, go ahead.
sorry. She said, "Oh, I don't know why," because she was saying around the door, I'm like, I just didn't know who to pick. That's what she was going about saying. She didn't say about the apples. Fair enough. She didn't want a target on her head, but she was kind of chickening out, say, she just came to my head. That was, and maybe she changed her mind after, in the interview. I do not know that, Yeah, because other people rejected the apples. So
Yeah, no, you're right. Other people did reject the apples, and well, it was what it was. Leann says she's not afraid to make difficult decisions. Lorenzo says you can't wait till it's your turn because you know exactly who you voting for. Then 179 votes for 330. So you have another person's name on the board very soon after. Uh, she says she's dead serious. She voted for him because her team wanted to vote for him. So you have you have a little hope at this point. There's another name, and so it's finally your turn to get up there, and you vote. Well, before you vote, you get out of line, and you like, you know what? If I'm gonna get up out of here, let me at least make people know who I am. Since they want to put my name up on the board, I'm gonna show them who 161 really is. So you get out of line, you two-step, strut, model walk all the way down to Leann and say, is it 302 or is it 302? So what makes you do all this, man? What's going on?
um, sometimes there's nothing that gives you more joy than just pure retaliation. Like just being pet. Sometimes you just gotta be petty, and I think there's a lot of joy in just doing that. I was like, I knew I was out because, like, yeah, you said the third person were introduced, but yeah, there's three people to eliminate. So at that point, I was like, unless everyone doesn't, I mean, no one votes for me. I knew I was out. So like, let me at least just tell her that I'm annoyed at this. Let me just retaliate and put it on that board. Maybe I'll make her feel a bit of a way. It was just pure retaliation. You vote for me, I vote for you. As God says, arm for arm, eye for eye, arm for arm, or leg for leg, whatever that saying is. There you go. That's Jesus right there. So, it's not everyone's like, hey, you've been disrespectful to an old lady or whatever. I'm like, let's start from there. I do not discriminate. You're playing a game. I don't care, what kind of shape or form you come in. I'm just gonna play the same as I would with anyone. So I just went up to her and did that. Finished, just retaliation.
Yeah, simple. I mean, you put my name up, I put your name up. Why is it bad if I do it, but it's okay if you do it to me? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Double standard, but
Yeah.
that's the sad world.
And just, sorry, I kind of need to clarify this. Just so you know, I knew her number fully. That's the point. So I was like, is it 302 or 302? Because either way, I'm going to vote for you. Like, I know it's the same thing, girl. I know, trust.
Oh, I love it. That was like my favorite part of the whole first 5 episodes. Seeing that.
Thanks.
You,
I guess.
I loved it. We needed a redemption challenge, a Monster Reborn card. But so we finished up the votes, and we have 5 numbers on the board, and 179 gets voted as well. So the first person eliminated is 374. Second person eliminated is 330. And so when these first 2 people voted out, are you thinking like, oh, there's a chance still? Like, I might not be out? No?
No. No, I knew. See, the other people were introduced much further on. Like, I was at 3/4 of the line, a couple of people before me. So I was like, there's no, I mean, I'm very mathematical. I was like, there's no chance in hell unless literally no one voted for me, which is very unlikely. I was like, I knew I was out. I knew I was going to be the third one because the other 2 people were actually not liked. And then the other ones, I mean, everyone was kind of indifferent, I guess.
Yeah. And I don't think you were, and the last player voted is 161 Lorenzo. Terrible. He's voted out. You say people are sheep, and you don't blame the people. You blame her.
I blame her. Yeah. 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 Period. That's it. I don't think anyone would have voted for me in there. But just because I feel like, yeah, you might be a target because you're real, but usually I don't know. I'm just like, why would I be? I mean, I could have been a target, but at the same time, no. I mean, if you were in the second in line or very early on, I would not have gone out. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the people up front had the power in that instance. Everyone was going to follow what they did because they were too afraid to put another name on the board. And unfortunately, that's the name of that. That's what happened. It's honestly a game of who's in the front and who's in the back. Who's in the front and who's in the back. It seems like the front is kind of somewhat in power of controlling kind of what happens in the back. Sometimes it's good to be in the back too. So it's like, you don't have to make those decisions, but the front is seemingly every single game having to make the hard decisions.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. So, but yes, Leann is kind of trash talking you on the way out. she says you didn't have anything nice to say, um, which I wouldn't either. I mean,
Oh, thank
yeah.
you.
So it's like, what you want me to say? Good game. But so yes, unfortunately, that ends your time. You did not get out by failing any of the challenges. You got out by a vote out. So how does that make you feel? Like you succeeded in everything so far, and then you get voted out.
Honestly, I don't like. I respect every person's game. Ultimately, I mean, I still feel like a bit of pride. Like I didn't go out in a challenge. I think I would have gone for the win and probably maybe won. So I won out with something else. At the same time, I just think it is what it is. I don't really look at the past because I think like reminisce, like thinking about the past and having regrets is what gives us anxiety, what gives us stress. Like every you know person that is going through something that does not make me feel well goes back to like guilt, a sense of guilt, a sense of you could turn back time. How many people think that? So I don't. I'm proud of it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I made amazing friends. Like, I went to America. I went to Mimi's daughter's quinceañera and know the Latino gang, Golden One Airbnb. I see Lucia here. I was driving down the roads of what's it called, Phoenix, with Mama Sisi, just laughing so much. We'll never have experienced that without it. So I'm kind of grateful. Yeah, I'm happy I went out that way I did. Listen.
Yeah, no, definitely. Went out with your head held high. You seemed, pretty calm, cool, and collected on your exit, which is, more than most people can say. I went out a little bit of a mess, but we ain't gonna talk about me. It's not about me. But yeah, it was interesting to meet all the people. I know we didn't get to hang out a ton. We spoke a couple times. I remember most of the times I spoke to you was when we were waiting for like some announcement going on, and I was keen on seeing you initially because you stood out because one, you were tall, and two, you got great skin, and three, because you're Italian, and that was the summer prior was the first time I ever went to Europe, and I went to Italy, and so I was very enthralled with like all the cultures that I saw and whatnot. So I was like, oh, like I want to meet all the foreign people from America, and definitely they're get interested in
Oh.
whatnot.
Oh man, that's so sweet. Honestly, I love that. Yeah, the time I spoke to you, it was nice.
Yeah, no, it was very brief. I know because just that's just how it happens sometimes. But yeah, no, I will say, we keep it in 100. The first time I did see you, you were a little dismissive.
Was I? Oh damn! Oh
Just
damn!
a little
See,
bit. It
see,
wasn't. I don't think it was intentional. I think you were just kind of like in your own, like you and your own thing.
but see, I mean, as I said it. This is the thing. Now that I'm out of the game, I'm like, I'm just. Sometimes I just act like this. I don't mean any harm. I'm just blunt. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, just doing my thing. I just, yeah, but it was not intentional. Now that I, know you, I would
No,
definitely.
I
I
could
was
100.
probably preoccupied with something. And
Yeah, you
sometimes,
probably. No, go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
no, sometimes I was gonna say, sometimes like it takes. I mean, there's gonna be something that is like, very confident. Sometimes like, everyone's got insecurities, but it's kind of like, would you talk about like your insecurities on a first date? No, you wouldn't. Sometimes, everyone puts a facade, and mine is sometimes I just put a wall.
Exactly, and I wouldn't have voted you out because he didn't give me a warm welcome and a hug when I first met him for the first time
Mhm.
ever. I'm like, this dude's probably thinking about his
Oh.
own thing. Let me just keep it moving. So I mean, I didn't take nothing from it. I said hello. It was very quick and whatnot. And we kept it moving. I was like, oh, he seems kind of funny because I saw you from afar, like with your sass and like your attitude, and I think it's funny, hilarious. I live for it. So
Oh,
don't
thank
change.
you. Thanks. I guess in real life, there's no danger of getting eliminated, so it's just even nicer.
Of course, 100%. So when you're on your way out of here, and it's time, I guess, because you live in the city, so I ain't even gonna say on the plane ride home. But when you get back to your apartment or house, what's kind of going through your mind?
Uh, I'm not gonna lie, a lot. Like I was thinking about because I had a job back then and I had to go back, and that money, that Monday, I don't work there anymore, so I can say I instructed my sister to send an email that I was like off sick on my behalf. Damn, so she just sent it, and I was like coming back home. So I was like, oh my god, I wasted like this opportunity to send my sick leave, and I'm not even like gonna take it. But then I did for a couple of days. I guess I was very humbled by the experience in a way. Like I never humble as in I never use my phone, and I'm kind of like, oh my god, what's such a privilege? I have spices. The other we people had wars that went over other countries, started wars to get spices, and just, they don't use them in their food. So now it makes you think like, why did they, do all of that? The spices are amazing, and I never really taken a moment to be like, oh, I'm actually grateful for it. Not that I do now. I'm like, I just forgot about that. But for that day, I was like, I got a phone. What am I gonna do with a phone? I just forgot about real life.
Hey, he's still living in the Squid Game. He's still subconsciously living in there. I
Mm-mm.
feel it. I feel you. So, is there? You already said kind of what you take away from the show and whatnot. You get back home and whatnot. You taking care of your business. So, after seeing the show on TV and it comes out finally, do you think that that's how you felt like you were portrayed, or is it a little bit different?
Um, well, I feel like although they cut it like to very specific pieces, I feel like it's kind of true to who I am ultimately. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's very edited. I wish there was more like actual interactions that I had. For example, I never had anything nice to say. I'm like, I mean, I did. I had a lot of like heartfelt moments with people, and with Mimi, she was crying to me, like I was hugging her, and many moments like that. Very cute. But I guess I am like that, but I also, have another side of me that wasn't so shown. I'm a person of heart, and I think that's come with just being unapologetically real and myself. So, I'm there for you, and I think that wasn't shown. But fair enough, that's just the character they wanted to portray, and that's who I am, a part of me. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, very small part. People watching, Lorenzo has many layers to himself, and just what you see on TV isn't always what you get. I mean, he's not
Yeah.
walking around in a flower dress 24/7. He's not all snapping at old ladies and checking for them 24/7. He's very polite and loves his grandmother and likes other different flowers as well and other
Yeah.
clothes.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that's all the truth.
Well, man, that was awesome. Loved your time on the show. It's sad to see one of the focal points of the show gone. I know you probably would have killed it in the rest of in the rest of the challenges.
Thank you.
Um, but yeah, is there any kind of wrap it up? Is there any kind of parting words you have for the people?
Get me a boyfriend now. No, I'm joking. Not I want a dating show. I want to do a dating show because I'm not like I got into Squid Games also because I wanted to just meet. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna meet so many people from around the world. Like maybe I'm gonna meet someone cute for me. It just didn't happen to me in the show, but yeah, that's next. So for everyone is listening, get me on a dating show because I need a boyfriend.
Okay, and he needs it. He needs it. And who knows? I mean, you didn't spend enough. We didn't spend enough time, on the show. So you maybe another show, you get some more time and whatnot, and you could get going. But yeah, we gonna get. What show would you be on if you could be on a show, another show?
Um, Probably there's not many for gay people, to be honest with you. Mainstream like Love Island. I would like to be on Love Island or Blind Date or whatever that is. Yeah, any other like that. Yeah, I would like to do it. I like doing realities, to be honest. I feel like yeah, I just really enjoy it. What can I say?
Well,
So
it suits you well.
a new one they make.
Well, but speaking into existence now, there might be a new show coming for Lorenzo now, and he's about to have everybody all over himself. You never know.
I
Lorenzo's
come
life.
across so thirsty, I swear, but I mean,
Hey, look now, it happens. It's phases, especially with us guys. Like it comes, it goes, it comes, it goes, and sometimes you get in the mood where you're just like, I need something now. Come on now.
yeah, I think it's just winter, but probably yeah, yeah. I'm actually pretty content with myself. That's the other problem. I'm just doing like just loving single life as well. Yeah, I just don't want to answer to anyone, but maybe I'm getting ready for it. Maybe I'll get there. So yeah,
Hey, take your time. Things gonna happen when they need to happen. Just enjoy the ride while it goes.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Lorenzo, I really appreciate you joining me on the podcast. It was wonderful having you. Next time you in New York, holler at me. I'm gonna show you a good time, 100% guaranteed. And yeah, well,
I definitely will. And the same for you. When you're in London, hit me up. And thank you so much, Yander, for having me. I had a great time. You're an amazing guy and also very good at doing this.
oh well, thank you, man. I'm just trying. I'm trying my best out here to be great
No, you're
like you.
doing it.
Well, y'all, till next time, we out of here. Peace and blessings. And I'll see
Peace
y'all
out.
later.